Hi guys, welcome back and happy spooky season from Carly at the Hook and Knot Nook. We are well and truly getting excited now. It's 13 days till the special day. We've been racking our brains for projects to do for Halloween DIY. We did start on this Ouija board, but even we got a little freaked out by it. So, as we've been doing so much hooking and not very much knotting, I thought I'd go back to a project that I did, oh my lord, so many years ago. And we'd make some of these spooky bats to hang from the dragon tree in our garden. I think it's a dragon tree. I would class this project as intermediate skill level, as it can be a little fiddly depending on the size of your beads. However, it does go really, really quickly. I think I probably finish these off while watching a film. So you will need to know the lark's head knot, the square knot, and the double half hitch knot. I always get that one a bit mixed up. I'm going to be spray painting mine so it has more of a chance of surviving Halloween in the UK. So it doesn't matter what colour cordage I use, but you will need a stick. Make sure that it's well dried and it's not going to snap on you. Not that the project's really heavy, but it does need to be a minimum of 20 centimetres. You'll need 2 beads for the eyes. Mine are a bit big, but they're the only ones that I have on hand that the hole is big enough for the cordage to go through. So far as cordage, you will need 1 strand at 120 centimetres, 6 strands at 60 centimetres, and 20 strands at 30 centimetres. So it's a good way to use up any leftover bits that you've got from other projects, just as long as they're a minimum of 30 centimetres. My beads for this one, I'm going to be spray painting it, so I left them plain. But for the ones indoors, the ones that I'm using the black cordage for, I did add some glitter to them so they sparkle a little bit. I will not be explaining the knots in this video, so if you do need to brush up on those, obviously go do that first. I will try add a video where I just go through the knots. So let's get on with the project. I work my projects on a big piece of packing foam as it allows me to pin bits in place, but if you're on a table you can just tape your stick down. But to begin with, we're going to measure. We need, as I said, at least 20 centimetres as the bat itself, 7, 14. The bat itself takes up about 17 centimetres. So if you want more stick on either side of the wings, obviously make it 25 centimetres. We're going to start with our 120 centimetres cord, and this is essentially going to be the ears and the wings, the cord for the wings, and we're going to attach that with a lark's head knot and then move about 1 centimetre to 1.5 centimetres over to the right with the right cord and do another lark's head knot. So to do that, we're going to go over and under and through, and then repeat that again over the front. I said, under, over and through. I said I wouldn't be discussing the knots, but obviously I did. So we're now going to take 2 of our 60 centimetre cords, and we're going to attach them to that section in between the 2 lark's head knots with lark's head knots, making any adjustments and tightening the knots as you need to at this point. Maybe lengthening the right cord, as you know, that one's going to be a little shorter than the left because you used it to make the other ear. So now we have our 2 external really long cords. We're not going to be using them for the body. We're going to be using them when we get to the wings. So I'm just going to pin my work down now and move those two out the way. And now we have our 4 cords. And to those external cords, so not the 2 in the middle, we're going to take our other 4 60-centimeter cords and we're going to attach 2 on either side with lark's head knots. So we now have 12 central cords, not including our 2 external wing cords. And these central cords are going to be for the main body of the bat. So we're going to take the 4 on either side and move them out the way. And of the 4 in the center, on the external ones, so leaving the 2 middle ones, we're going to thread our beads for the eyes. I will definitely invest in some smaller beads because these ones do make the project, like I said, a bit fiddly. With the center cords, we're going to wrap them a couple of times, not too tightly, until they're about the length of the beads. And then we're going to take the 2 strands from the left and 2 strands from the right. So we'll have 8 in the middle. And we're going to do 2 square knots with the 4 on the left and the 4 on the right to secure the eyes in place. We're then going to bring down those 2 external cords from the left and the right, and we'll have our 12 again, and we're going to do 3 square knots. So 1 square knot on the left 4, 1 in the middle 4, and 1 on the right 4. And you don't want to do the external ones too tight. You want the square knots to sit just underneath the eyes, otherwise it will deform your bat body and make it sit a bit wonky. So that's row 2 of the body. For row 3, we're again going to take those 2 external cords and move them out the way. And with the 8 in the middle, we're going to do 2 more square knots. So 1 with the left 4 and 1 with the right 4. For row 4, we're going to bring down those external cords again, and we're going to work 3 square knots this time. Again, so 1 with the outside 4, 1 with the internal 4, and 1 with the right 4. So for our next row, we're going to take those 2 from each side out again, and we're going to make 2 square knots with the left 4, 1 square knot with the left 4, 1 square knot with the right 4, and we're now tapering down his body. And for our final part of his body, we're going to take 2 more on the left and the right, so we only have the 4 in the middle, and we're going to do 1 final square knot to finish off his body. At this point, it's a good idea to check all your knots, make sure that your eyes are sitting comfortably, and we're going to get started with the wings now. So you want to go about 7 centimeters away on either side, and we're going to attach the wing cord with a lark's head knot to either side, so about 7 centimeters away. And now for the 30 centimeter cords that we cut. If you wanted your wings to be wider, you could add more and just extend that 7 centimeter space. But I think with the size of the body, these 20 are perfect. So we're going to attach them to that 7 centimeter section that we left with lark's head knots. I don't know why I'm suddenly having such an issue saying that it's normally the half hitch knot that I get wrong, or double half hitch knot. So we're going to attach 10 on either side for the wings. Now we don't want them to be too tight together or too tight up to the body, because it can misform the project when we move on to the next stage. I like to do a little adjusting at this stage just to make sure that the spacing is correct. But now I'm going to pin just underneath that external cord for our wings. And using that as the lead cord, we're going to do double half hitch knots along that cord. So starting with the very external of the 10 that we just attached, and we're going to do double half hitch knots all the way along, and we do want to keep as tight to the half hitch knots as we can to keep the shape, and continue that process all the way along until you get to the body section. Once we're at the body section, we're still going to continue this process. But to avoid the project being misshapen, we're going to do the double half hitch knot along that cord just a little bit lower so that it just meets that first square knot. And we're going to do that with the 6 cords of the body, so there'll be 6 on the other side still for the other wing. Once you've done this process, all you need to do is repeat it on the other side. At this point, I will say, sorry if you hear any screaming or yelps in the background. As it is the spooky season, the girls are watching a spooky film on the TV. I won't say which one. All I will say is, I know I couldn't watch this one at their age. I tried. I ended up turning it off halfway through. I'm not a big spooky film person. My idea of a spooky film is The Omen, and I love it. So you should have 26 double half, well, no, 26 times, well, yeah, 26 double half hitch knots on either side when you get to the center. We're then just going to do one last one double half hitch knot with those center 2 cords to attach them together, and our bat is basically done. We've just got one more process to do in order to, well, 2 more processes technically to do in order to finish him off. In my case, as I am spray painting him and lacquering him, maybe 3 more processes. Now, unfortunately, the black cordage unravels whether you want it to or not, but this kind of browny beigey one seems a bit awkward. So I find it easier to kind of unwrap the four strands of 16 cords separately before I comb them out. As you can see, I've already given mine a spray paint. It was just a light coating, so it's not that thick at the moment, but it's just to help it keep its form. And I find the dish brush is one of the best things to do it with. And I've got my printed out bat form just as a guide, although I have been known to freehand it. And I'm just going to pop that on top, make sure that all of my strands are straight. Obviously, I can do some extra trimming at the end. I'm then just going to pin that in place so that none of the strands move. As I said, it's only, you can use hairspray actually to thicken it or, you know, stiffen it so it's easier to cut. And then I'm just going to cut around the form. See, all of my scissors seem to be a bit blunt today. But once that part's done, that is it. Our bat is officially done. I think he's so cute. I think I'm going to have to make a few full friends, as one of my friends' birthday is on the 1st of November. Hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, please hit like, subscribe, comment down below. I always love hearing from you guys.